Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks, and welcome to a long friend of ours, FINOW. This is the first watch for 2017 from good old FINOW, and it's right inside here. What are we going to be looking at? Well, they're taking kind of the direction that we saw with number one. At this point, we're going to scale down the screen and try to improve battery life. It's the new FINOW Q7, and this is their AliExpress direct FINOW store that you can pick this one up from. And it does run Android 5.1, and it has a little camera on it. So not exactly what number one is doing with their D7, but the Q7 from FINOW looks like this. 1.3 inch, which is the same size screen as you've seen in the X1, X3, you know, those watches. But it's a 240 by 240 resolution screen instead of the high pixel resolution. They claim you really, I don't say you can't tell a difference, but you still have high resolution, good color, everything. It's a stripped down to 4 gigabytes of memory and 512 megabytes of RAM. Like I said, running OS 5.1, it's got all these different frequencies. And look at this, the 3G is supporting the 850 and 1900, good for folks in the US. And of course, China, Canada, 2100 in your country. You have to check and see. These are the 2G. Most of these are gone now. These are what you need to be looking at for possibly using your phone, your watch as a phone with a SIM card. Display moving to light, you know, that's your lift your hand turn thing, a heart rate monitor. It's got a 450 milliamp hour battery, which is way better than the 300, 350 we've been seeing, but not quite yet up to the 500 claimed by number one. It's going to be interesting, folks, and I'm going to count on you out there when you guys buy this and do battery tests for us, okay? That's one of the biggest questions, especially these scaled down watches. Are you going to get the battery life in exchange for giving up the high resolution screen, the fast quad core processor, the 16 gigabytes of RAM? Is this worth it for battery life? Only you will know, because there's no way I can test all the parameters. So please, down below in the comments, if you have one of these watches, let us know what your battery life is like over time. That will help everybody out. Okay, and it's got the little camera on it, and it says the memory, because it's only 4 gigabytes, it's kind of hard to see with the blue background. It uses the operating system and everything uses half of that, and the rest is available, which is 2 gigabytes. But I think you're going to find it's going to be even less than that when you actually get into using it. However, check this out. It has an SD card slot. You can put in extended memory. So this memory worry is only about installed applications. If you want to dump songs or videos or lots of audio books or whatever on the card, you can. And I'm going to have a special for you guys. It's only 1 week long, they told me. Check the show notes. If you buy from the link and mention you saw this on Smartwatch Ticks, you're going to be able to pick this thing up for a really decent price and include an 8 gigabyte card inside. Okay? An 8 gigabyte micro SD card. It's capable up to 32. They'll give you an 8 gig to get you started, but only for 1 week. All right, let's tear into it and give you an overview quickly of the whole FINOW line as it's out there now and the current suggested prices. And I don't know, you might have to back the video up to see what was listed for the Q7, but I think we can get this for you at around this price. Check for the coupon discounts down below. Enough of the ads. Let's tear into it and see what it looks like. Greetings, everybody. It is an exciting day here as we open up the first FINOW watch of 2017. New boxing. Look at this. Black with red all around it. Little number written on the side. That's it. That is it. Oh, okay. They've already opened and played with it. This is a prototype again, you know, coming to us from number one. Oh, okay. Well, it's got an attractive bezel right off the bat. You can see that. It's got writing around it. Smartwatch, it says, with a tachometer kind of a display. 2 buttons and a camera on this side. Microphone there. It is a smaller watch. It's on its last rung, so that's the size of a wrist, which is pretty small. So this could work for the ladies as a substitute for getting the X1 or X3 or X3 Plus. We have a new edition now, and that's this one, which is, what the heck is this one called again? It's called the Q7. So many names to remember. All right, it's a very shiny leather, patent leather kind of a band. Don't get this wet, I can tell you that already. Don't care about the watch, don't get the band wet. Really, you know, that stuff will swell up, and it's probably, this is a dress watch. Okay, we got the speaker right here. We've got a curved charging, which tells me there's probably a dock. I haven't seen curved charging cables yet. And then we've got this big old panel right here, which I let my fingernails grow a little bit. Let's see if I can do it. I might need a tool from the box. Nope, I got it. You just lift it up, and there you go. Inside is where you put your SIM card. And there, inside, she said she would send this to me, is a 32 gigabyte card. Now, yours won't come with this. Yours won't come with any card at all, unless you take advantage of the special. And when you order, ask for the 8 gigabyte card, because you saw the review on our channel here, and they'll send you an 8 gigabyte card. In the meantime, I got 32 to play with there. There's a heart rate sensor kind of stuff going on, and big snap-on, easy in, easy out panel. So you can like pull this out, put it in your computer or your friend's phone or whatever, transfer music data, whatever you want to it, and without a screwdriver, pop the thing open and get inside. Because of that, though, too, the trade-off is you're not going to see much waterproofing from this watch. It's going to be water splash resistant at best, so don't get it too wet. This is not really an outdoor sports watch. This is, obviously, look at the band. This is a very nice dress watch. You're going to want to wear that out on the town. Ooh, sweet. What else is in the box? We've got 2 little boxes. Inside this one is the obligatory charger. Oh, I take it back. We do have just a cable, but wow. This is a very unique, obviously, cable. You're not going to find that anywhere. Wow, all right. Yeah, it just sucks right in there. But because it's curved, it uses very specialized designs. Good, it's got a locating pin. That's nice. And it's good and solid. But take care, because this is going to be your lifeline to keeping your watch working. You got to charge it, and you got to have this cable. Okay, then what else is in here? Another box, which, as far as I know, is filled with Chinese air from the dragon boat ceremony they just went through. Wow, can you breathe that? Cool. I always wondered what all those good things they eat on these holidays smells like, and now I know. Here's the manual, the Chinese manual in Chinese on this side, and da-da-da-da, in English over here. Let's take a look. Just basic smartwatch, it says. So FINOW is coming back. We hope to see more watches of all different kinds. This is their 2017 entry. All their other workhorse Android 5.1 watches, from the X3 basically plus, the X5 plus, and on into the Q3 plus. There's a FINOW Q5. We haven't talked about that one. And FINOW Q7 we're looking at right now too. And then, of course, the rectangular Q1 is still available from FINOW. With this Q7, we've got lots of interesting things to take a look at. And once I charge it up, I'll turn it on and we'll do a quick walkthrough of what it can do. All right, let's have some fun. I'm going to fire it up. We'll see what we've got. Comes up with the FINOW logo, as we've seen before. And let's see, what else can I tell you? It's non-removable bands. Definitely, those are fixed bands on here. It's got a pretty obvious bezel running around it. And again, this is the black one, and it's a bright black, bright finish on the watch, matching the brightness of the bands. Definitely an elegant going out kind of a watch. Can work on men or women. And it looks like this while we wait for it to boot up. And a couple of little strap holes to put it through. By the way, I have the audio turned off on the watch. And yeah, this is not the first time I've turned it on. And I hope by now you can tell from the watch face that yes, it does take custom watch faces. This is a special one that Andrew made for me, for us, for Smartwatch Tix, the fabulous Smartwatch Tix Vegas girl. All right, let's take a look at it. Take it back off so we can run through the paces. You want to see the installed watch faces first. Okay, let's get that done because they have some brand new ones in this watch. Again, this is a custom watch face, and to the left of here, I have all sorts of other custom faces that I've installed. Some of my favorites, and they all work perfectly, and they use the original way it's always been done for our FINOW type watches. So all of the watch face reviews that we've done, with all of the links to all of the faces, and I'll put a link down below that lists all of them. So you can go look at the review videos of the watch faces and then select the ones you want, go to the originator's site, hit the link that gets to their download page and download them and put them on your watch. In the meantime, the FINOW installed watches now have their logo on them. And this is their first one. And they don't have a whole lot, but they have a bunch. So, yeah, don't have a whole lot, but they have a bunch. Great. There's the power, showing you that. I like it when you can see the power on a watch face, and we know that it interfaces. Here's one with some motion going on. That's pretty cool. Wow, nice, huh? Yeah, I'm a softie for glitzy things that move. I must have been a reptile in my previous life or something. This is weird. I don't know why that's dark right there. It's not on the watch. It's part of the background. Drop shadow, maybe. Maybe it's supposed to look dirty. Who knows? There's a different one, too. We've not seen these watch faces before. So from FINOW, they've been busy in the last 6 months, is it? What is it? June already, right? I don't know when the last watch from FINOW was out, but I think it was maybe November. Oh, look at that second hand. That's different. Gives me some creative ideas. It's actually a quadrant, like a propeller blade, going so fast that you're only seeing a pseudo image. There's the second hand, too. Wow, interesting. Okay. I haven't actually taken time to look at these closely. Here you go, a digital one. All with the FINOW logo on it. There's a upgrade to the one that we had digital before, was kind of curved, and you got those like propeller things going, digital, analog, all of it integrated together. They hired a watch person. I love it. Or somebody had some extra time and knew how to make these. That's pretty nice. Look at the elegant layout. Now, of course, this bezel is more of a tachometer kind, so you can see the spacing between the numbers is different than the 5, 10, 15 markers that you've got around the edge. So if you put a watch face on that just has hands and you're relying on the outer bezel, you could be confused. So it's nice to have the integrated positioning of the actual numbers to match up with the watch face if you're doing analog on this particular watch, just simply because that bezel is the way it is. And here's another one. Oh, look at that thing flipping backwards. Wow. Very creative. Now, I mention once again, as we go through this, that we're looking at a 240 by 240 screen. Look all right to you? You don't see a huge difference to the 400 by 400? When you multiply those numbers out and you imagine applying electricity to each and every pixel on the screen, you can see how you can conserve energy significantly if you go to a smaller, a smaller pixel numbered screen. And because this is a smaller watch, it's not as big as the X5 Plus, right? It's like the X3 Plus. When you go to a smaller screen like this, you really don't need all those pixels. You know, the pixel density is still pretty high. Did you notice that little minus sign up there? That means that this is one of the custom faces that I downloaded from the plus sign. I'll show you that in a moment as we go over there. Here's one that is a 24-hour clock. Actually, this is one of the watch faces that was a basis for the creation of a whole nother 24-hour clock that Alrod's put together. Maybe if I get a chance, I'll sweep back and show you that one. But check the timeout. It's 3:43 in the afternoon, and see here's 12, 13, 14, 15, 15:43. So the hour hand is actually once every 24 hours. That's noon, and that's midnight. You can see the darks and the bright sun, and half for sunrise and sunset. So that kind of a watch face is pretty cool. And the fact that the watch will do it is really nice. And it is Friday, and we're getting a good match up there. And then here's one I thought was kind of nice because of the really dark blue character of this. That, with the shiny band, adds such a level of elegance to this watch. Yeah. All right. I say all right a lot, don't I? I'm sorry. It's just my thing. There's the plus sign. When you tap it, if you're on the internet, you will get a stream of watch faces, 3 or 4 at a time. It loads them up. You scroll down. You decide what you want. You touch it. It says starting download. You say OK, and it's been installed. Then you bail out of it, and there it is, and you select it. That can't get any easier, right? So you saw all the FINOW ones, and then you can add your own with this plus sign without any skills at all, and with a little bit of skills, and you can learn all that here. You can go back and you can create a thing called a clock skin folder on the watch, and inside the clock skin folder, you can drop little subfolders, each of which has all of the makings of all of these and other custom watch faces. And they'll just sort themselves alphabetically, and then you bring them up, and you've got watch faces. Here's that 24-hour concept redone in a day-night format with a digital clock and the hours and minutes in 24-hour. Sweet, huh? These are a lot of my favorites. Really, really great watch faces. This one's kind of cool. I know you want to see the watch. I'm getting there. Goodness. You like that one? Okay, let's leave it on that one. Let's look at the watch. If I swipe down, I go into notifications. That's how you find out what's going on your watch. And there's something new in the settings related to notifications. I'll have to show you that. Now, when we're down there, you can't go left and you can't go right. So there's only one thing when you pull down. When you go to the left on this watch, nothing. It used to be that's where notifications were. When you go to the right, you get everything. See all the dots here? Your dialing, if you're using it as a phone, your contacts, and your SMS. So it's really meant to be a standalone phone. Boom, boom, boom. Your top 3 things are right there. After that, you get into your health with the heart rate monitor, which uses the, having read up on this now, it does the 3 diodes. There's 2 visible and 1 infrared in the middle diode flashing. And when it's covered properly on your arm, you can see it's kind of doing a, almost looks like how you do blood pressure, you know, but it's just kind of going up and down and figuring things out as it measures your pulse. 90, could be. I'm a little hyperactive. I've been running around before I settle down for this, so could be. Accuracy, again, I really don't know. You guys test it. I'll test it. We'll see. I'm not touching it. It's still going. There it goes. It says measurement failed. That's good news. When it fails, it means like, hey, it's at least really reading something. We were worried in the past it would get readings off of a beer bottle, you know. Okay, anyway, this is working good. Here's sport, and this is a whole nother area. Let's touch it and see. I haven't been in here yet. This is settings, so male, height, weight, age, step size. Hey folks, this is really good. Very, very few watches do this. This is your distance when you're walking, jogging, or running that you can set. And if you just think about basic math, it counts numbers of steps in the watch. You multiply number of steps times the step size, and from that you can get distance. So when you're on those watches that don't have the ability to set the step size, it's using some generic step that may or may not match yours, even close. And it's giving you your distance walked or run, but it's not anywhere near accurate. So kudos. One of the few watches that has the ability for you to adjust your step size. Now, of course, you got to go calculate that. So, set up some water on the driveway and walk through it or jog through it and have somebody else watch where your feet land, the second or third step, where the water is, measure from heel to heel, and that's your distance for your step size, calibrated based on how you move your particular body on a level based on the water pattern you see. Confirm your settings, okay, and that's how you just simply update things. So if you're going to run and you have a different step size from your running to your walking, you can come in here and quickly adjust all that. So I take it that's what we get in the sport, is just your overall sport settings. Camera, okay, why not? They got a camera on the side. We're going to turn it on. And I brought with me today my solar vibrating butterfly. Whoa, and there he is. Why? Because he presents a lot of motion for us, and I can record it. Hi, everybody. This is a vibrating butterfly, and we're checking out the recording capability, the video recording capability of our brand new FINOW Q7 watch. Saving it. There it is on the side. Let's play it. I can double tap. Audio is really soft. I can move it around. I guess that's it? Maybe. Okay. It's louder when it actually plays, so you can hear the speakers loud. It's just that the mic's picking up for the recording. Playback through the watch isn't all that loud. You could export this to your computer or your phone, I guess, and play it back there, and maybe it would be louder. But we get a nice picture overall, and you have the ability to double tap and make it bigger or take it back to size. And single brings up the pause. You'll see that in a little bit when I play a video for you as well. Okay. Bottom button takes us back one. One. There we go. And we're back to the camera. We have a still picture capability there. And there was nothing to take a picture of. But there it is, a little bit of my hand. So that's the camera. Now, I saw some stuff here. Come back here. There, look at that, ×1. Oh, I have a zoom? Really? Come here, butterfly. Where are you? Did it just zoom? What happened? Oh, I just went over to there. You saw it say +1, didn't you? Dang, I wish I knew how to do this stuff before I mess with this and waste your time. Pension zoom? Yeah, 1.1, 1.3. Look at that, everybody. You have 2-finger sensitivity. First of all, that's an amazing thing to know. And you can actually use it. Look at that. I have 10 hours and 59 minutes because this is recording to the 32 gigabyte internal SD card. You think my battery's going to last longer than my SD card? I don't think so. And I can zoom it while I'm recording. It's a tiny screen to try to squeeze on, but It works. And of course, this is obviously going to be a long review, isn't it? Hello. There you go. And that's zoomed in all the way. Double tap it if you want to really see it up close. So a nice, robust camera with zoom capability, and because of having an actual SD card installed, and the default being to record it to the SD card, there you see I'm zooming out again, lets you have pretty much endless use of the camera on this watch. And that was the camera icon, and we're still working our way down the list. Then we go into apps, then we go into settings. Let's do apps first. Music, that's your onboard music, and since you got a huge storage, you could put in tons of music, scan for that music, it'll pick it up automatically, and then you can play your music right here. I'm pretty sure you could also Bluetooth connect the watch to a Bluetooth headset, and you could play your music from your arm to your headset. No worry about being on the internet or having an SD card or anything. It's your music just playing. There's your basic sound recorder. This is where we would do an audio recording. There's the file list. Seems to be grayed out. Oh, okay, now it's recording. It had to be touched before it would light up. Done. I have to save it before I can play it and listen to it. Really soft. And the speakers is pretty loud. It's underneath the watch, it's right here at the top. So it's not coming out of the side. That's a drawback as far as my preference. I'd rather have it over on the side than underneath here. And, when this is up next to your sweating skin with holes on it, it's a potential place where moisture could get into the watch. So I've never been a fan of putting the speaker on the bottom, but FINOW has continued that with this watch. So there you go. Just a thing to be concerned or aware of. There's a voice search. Does it work? What time is it in New York City? Listening. Are you there?
The time in New York is 9:54 p.m. on Friday.
9:54 p.m. There you go. And you heard it, right? So the voice search works with Google. Watch Helper is the tethering stuff. You can connect by Bluetooth. Disconnected. I think that will make noise when you're disconnected. Vibrate. I don't know. Sound tips. Screen on. Turn on the screen when a message arrives from your phone pushed to the watch. Few more things that we're seeing now on the controls related to tethering that we haven't seen before in the system setup under Watch Helper. There's the overall weather app, which hasn't been working for me. I don't know. I'm on Wi-Fi and I've got GPS on and it's not linking up with the server. So I don't know if that's just a minor issue right now or what your conditions might be, but I'm not pulling in weather info from the weather app. There's your alarms, your basic alarm setting. The App Store. Okay, this is not the Google Play Store, but the Android App Store, the watch apps maintained by FINOW or some agent for FINOW. And when you go into these watch apps, it shows you specific common apps that you can download without even having to have set up Google on the watch and go in and log into your account and download them. So you got things like WhatsApp and YouTube and Facebook, of course, and then you got these ones. Now Skype and Chrome are part of this, and then there's this thing called Health Reminder. I saw that earlier, and I don't know what it does, so I was going to download it on camera. We can see how the process works. Very much similar to how you download a watch face. The whole bottom is turning blue, as you can see, which I guess indicates its percentage of completion of being downloaded. And you don't have to do anything. This takes you into the whole process for installing. You scroll through all that stuff and say install. It's got the third-party app permissions turned on. No, it doesn't. Allow Google to regularly check Yes, you have to do all that stuff. And there it goes. It's now installing this health app. And in a moment, I'll show you where all of your downloaded apps reside. They're in a different place than the scroll list of apps that we're looking at. Let's open it. Oh, it's a sedentary reminder kind of thing. You can set drinking water, overall sedentary reminder, eye exercises, take medicine, and then the settings where you can change the start and end times that it will notify you, and so forth. Wow, you can even turn on sound or vibration or the reminder. So it's an overall fancy sedentary reminder application that they didn't have to kind of build into the watch. And that's in Watch Apps. And again, back. If I press the top button, it takes me all the way back to the watch face. Barometer, if the weather is working, it gives you the barometric pressure on this little chart, but you have to have the interface to the weather working properly, and that's not yet. There's your basic canned browser that comes with it. We've all seen that. Again, my favorite for a watch is called Apis, the Apis browser, not the Apis Turbo, but just basic one. You can download that from the Play Store. Here's your basic calendar. And then this is downloads, where you would download things, and that takes you back. And now we get into File Manager. Here's where we're going to show you some stuff. First of all, the watch storage. From that 4 gigabytes, you subtract off everything going on. It has 1.18 available from a total space of 2.27. Now, I started out with 2.27, and I've loaded in watch faces, and I've loaded in a bunch of apps that I plan on installing later, but they're APKs. That stands for Android Package, APK. And you install the APKs into the watch, and then it'll run in the watch, right? So the overall amount of space available to play with is pretty limited, but the SD card, again, they shipped this with a 32 gigabyte card for me to play with and show you. They do not come with 32 gigabytes. However, if you order within 1 week, they told me if you notify them that you saw this review here on our channel, they'll send an 8 gigabyte card along with the watch for you, so you can have that installed. Otherwise, it ships with no card at all, and you have to add your own. When you go into the card, it just has this DCIM, which is where your camera pictures and things would reside. And these are the little video clips that we just shot. See how they're showing up inside the SD card. And I can either press that or press that to go back. And then I made this one for movies. And this is almost an hour and a half video of Planet Earth 2 from National Geographic. Tiny little square, but you double tap it, and it comes up full.
Down from 2 miles above the surface of the Earth, it's impossible not to be impressed by the sheer grandeur and splendor and power of the natural world.
Nice, huh? Good, clean quality, no staggering in the image. It's running nicely. Can we do any of this? Oh, look at that. You can actually zoom in. All right, I got a little carried away. Double tap to make it bigger if you want. Pinch to zoom. All right. Then you have this thing here that you can change it. Aspect ratio, right? So you can have it more of a square or the theater kind. It's kind of cut off at the... There we go. Okay, now it looks tall and skinny. It's because it's not formatted for that. There, it's formatted properly. You have this button that lets you share it using Bluetooth or messages. So if it's a picture or a video clip that you recorded, you can export it via Bluetooth, probably to your phone, or through messages if you have a SIM card. All right? Don't want to go too far with this because we're actually... Whoops, I hit the wrong button. That took me all the way back, right? And to get back to applications is a bit of a pain. You got to go through all of this, right, to here. We were in File Manager, and I was showing you that there's a folder that I made called Movies, and you have a whole lot of space. So we've got a really nice, hopefully long-lasting watch with a smaller screen resolution than we're used to, but in a nice small format watch, a good size 450 milliamp hour battery. This compares well, I think, with the number one D7 in its philosophy, not necessarily in its practice. We're waiting to see if firmware updates will improve the battery life. And I challenge you guys, you watch collectors like me, pick up one of these. If you've already got the D7, get the Q7 and do a comparison for us. You know, run them both together and let us know how it's working in terms of battery life between the two. If you have basically the same settings. This is gallery, and it's another way of showing you all the stuff, pictures and videos that you've recorded with the camera, or pictures on your own that you've imported. So if you want to impress grandpa, or if you're buying this for grandpa and you want him to have pictures of the grandkids, you got more than enough space in here for video clips and pictures in that SD card. I just touched Google. You can go through and sign in and do all the Google setup. And that gives you your okay, you know what the next word is, Google, and it'll activate for you. But we already have the voice search, so you can do that too. There's the Play Store, the standard Google Play Store, and there's Health Reminder, which is what we just installed, the app we just put in. Okay. I guess on this one, yes, when you install your own custom applications, they show up right here at the bottom of the list. There's some other watches that do it a little bit differently. They do a horizontal row of your installed ones, but this one is operating like what we're used to in the FINOW kind of watches in apps. And finally, you get to settings at the very end of the run. And in the settings, you have your ability to turn on your Wi-Fi and set it up. You have connectivity for Bluetooth, cellular, if you have a card in there, airplane mode, GPS and VPN. I do not see a hotspot capability in this watch. Some of them have it. Kind of ridiculous on a watch to run it as a Wi-Fi hotspot when you barely get data transferred to it and you got a tiny battery. But nonetheless, it's there. Here's where you could put in your emergency contact, and you put in whatever number you want it to dial. I don't know if that's enough digits. Save it. Oops. Okay, now it's there, and I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to hit and hold that button, tap the SOS, and that's where it would attempt to make that SOS call to the number that you put in, as long as you have a SIM card in the watch. Nice feature if you plan on having a SIM card installed that gives you phone connectivity. Okay. Sorry, gang. All the way over settings. That was in the emergency contact. Date and time is your basic stuff. Network, you can set this time zone or do it manually. You can change it to AM, PM, all the typical stuff there. Display capability for adjusting the brightness level however much you want. It's not working much right now because I haven't. Sometimes I install the display brightness. I don't think I have it on this one right now. No, I don't. Well, all right. It's not really showing much of a difference in brightness. Even at its softest, which is right there, it's still pretty bright. So I would suggest you install the app Display Brightness. It may or may not be in the Google Play Store. It was there, it was pulled, it was back, it was gone. I have it in links, other places, other videos. I'll try to remember to put a link to Display Brightness in this video at the bottom. You can download it from there. And it gives you a little slider that you can go up and down on the screen, no matter where you are, even on your watch face, to dynamically adjust the brightness. Highly recommend that one. You can adjust the sleep time from as short as 15 seconds to as much as 30 minutes. And interface style. Here you go. This is where you can have your third-party apps either in a full circle or in a little square inside the circle. And you do that so that you can get to the menus. And that's really important on a lot of different apps. If you can't get to that corner menu, you can't do settings, for example. So I'm going to leave it in that one for right now. Your default clock is the watch face and it brings up all of your options. Ooh, I like this one a lot. That one's just like there. It's set. A wallpaper clock, and you can choose whatever background image you want. I guess it's reading everything that I've got in here now. And you can create your own wallpaper clock. No, we're not going to go through that. You'll play with that on your own. This is the thing I was talking about, display unread notifications. Not sure, because I don't have it tethered, and I don't know how that works, but this is something new, which I presume will display any unread notifications that come in right on top of your watch. Maybe turn it on and show them to you, like it would on a phone. So that's a new feature. I'll leave it on in case I get around to doing all that. That's in display. Sound is sound. You have the ability to change your different tones. Good and loud, you hear that? So the watch is loud. It's just a matter of things like movies and a sound recorder being able to keep up with that level of volume. Here's where you set your overall volumes. I have them cranked all the way up. And again, those are all changeable. Watch ringtone, notification sounds you can change to anything else you want. And you can have the phone vibrate. Seen all that before, nothing new here. Move along, move along. Back we go to the power savings. This is where you have that bright screen thing, so when you twist your arm, you see the time. And yes, when you twist your arm, you see the time of the watch face that you have selected on this one, not the digital time that you see on a lot of the watches. FINOW and number one, will prove it, have stuck with that. Here's an automatically disconnect apps in the background to save power. And of course, you can turn on overall power setting. I have that turned on now. I'm going to come back here and turn it off. And when I twist it, it comes to that watch face, which is the one you want. It goes out fairly quickly. So one of the deciding factors people are buying these watches on is whether they get their default watch face with the twist thing, or whether they get a little digital display that you have to touch the screen while the digital display is on in order to get your watch face. If you don't like that style, you need a number one or a FINOW watch, period. You know, because these guys, that's how they do it. All right, I got to go over here into settings, and we're going down. We just did the power savings, text to speech. I have turned on text to speech. When you talk, it turns it into words. We saw that in the OK, you know what, Google thing, in the Google app, and in the voice search capability. But it probably eats up a lot of power. So my guess is they're giving you the option to turn off things that if you don't use them would drain the battery. It's got to be listening for your voice if it's turned on, right? And that takes power. Here's where you'd reset the device, and that's common in all of these, and uninstall any of your installed apps. We only did that one health app so far. And then more settings. Okay, here's your battery. It tells us right now we're at 88%. I like that one. That's just on that one thing when you scroll it down. Kind of a waste to be buried this deep in here, but a lot of the watch faces show your battery. Language and input. This watch ships with these languages installed. Pick out your favorite. Good selection. You know, I can read a lot of them, and then it gets down into some of these, and I really don't know what I'm looking at. Well, wow, there's a whole lot of them, aren't there? Good selection of languages. You can change and install your own custom keyboards. You can select the keyboard. You have the Google Voice typing, and right now the keyboard that's installed is the Pinyin Me keyboard. And security, if you want to lock your screen, you actually can do that. This is where you turn on unknown sources so that you can download apps from other places than the Google Play Store. Your call settings, if you have a SIM card in here, more capabilities than normal, like call forwarding, barring phone calls. and additional settings that you get actually into the phone company's settings. Your messages, getting message notifications or muting that, and making it give you a sound or vibrate. A lot of capabilities here. Apps. Here's our different apps. What happens if I touch it? Aha, this is where you can force stop it or uninstall it or clear the data or clear the cache. The common things that we've seen in the Android 4.4, when it went to Android 5.5 in the watch, that was gone. They've brought it back. Very, very good. And finally, about the equipment, where you would check for a wireless update, turn on developer options if you need to. Hey guys, do not do this. Do not go into developer options and decide you want to change the screen resolution. You'll really mess yourself up. The touch thing won't work with respect to what you're seeing on the screen, and you never can get it back. You have to flash firmware to your watch to erase it all and set it back up again. Don't do that, okay? I don't even know if it's in here, but if it is, and you can change the screen resolution, you don't want to ever go there. I get comments every now and then, people going, I did this, can you help me? And I say, you got to flash your phone. Status tells you about your battery stuff, your SIM stuff, your IMEI, your IP address stuff, The model number is a Q7. This is Android version 5.1. And it's running all of these things. The kernel date is what we look at, Wednesday, May the 10th, 2017. There's a build number and a custom build number, but that kernel number is where we are currently on this watch, just being released. Check yours when you get it, see if it's newer than that. If it is, something may have been done, and it might run a little differently on yours than it does on the one you're looking at here. Wireless update, we tap that. It's going to go out and check. If there is anything waiting for push, it'll do it. It's called an OTA, over-the-air update, and I don't have one waiting for me. So that's what you do every now and then, especially if we tell you you need to do an update for something. All right, I'm going one by one back, and there we are. So we go to the side to get all of those things, and then if you go up, you get this page. You come over here and look at this. Here's where it is. Here's where you can tap and change normal display or the zoom display. All right, that's the third-party app showing up in a square. Unfortunately, it's not like when you press and hold here. So if you're in the middle of an app, you have to bail out of the app. You got to come back to the screen. You got to come in here and you got to, it's a little bit complicated. Here's where we change the brightness levels to the 3 different brightnesses you've got. Here's where you turn on Bluetooth if you want, Wi-Fi. This is a picture of a watch with light coming out of it. That's that turn your arm to see the time that you can toggle on and off. And that's power savings mode. Notice it turned all those things off. Turn that off, and it's turning those things back on, I guess. Anyway, Wi-Fi is back. That's what I like. And there's Bluetooth, which I don't need right now, so I turned it off. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a clean all. Good to do that every now and then. Any of the old apps you've had running in the background, it lets them release memory, so you have it available. And that would be the clock for or your weather information. We got to that from the time by swiping up and going over to the side. So you have 4 screens at this level. You have a whole bunch of screens at this level, and you have your notifications up there. Have I covered everything? I think so. We're not doing the full detailed thing where we're checking GPS and giving you Antutu benchmark reports and all of that. This is a quick look at it, just to whet your appetite, see what you think of the brand new Q7 from FINOW. Did I open this? I think I did. I'll do it again anyway. Press, lift, and there you go. Inside, it's got the SD card, and the SIM card goes there. Yeah, we did that already. So you don't have to unscrew it to take it apart to get into it. All in all, a really nice watch. If this has decent battery life and an SD card and takes custom watch faces and a loudspeaker and saves all your video to the SD card and the side camera, and comes in at a price way better than that. Remember, I told you you're probably going to get it for $79 or better. I'm pretty impressed. I think this might be something to go for. So check it out in the show notes. There's a link to this page from FINOW Direct from AliExpress to pick this up. Put in the notes when you're doing it. Smartwatch Ticks review. Do it this week, because between today, which is Friday, this is going up, and next Friday, they'll throw in an 8GB card for you as an incentive. Okay, thank you for watching Smartwatch Ticks. Oh, and for those of you I told, there's an upcoming video. You got to see it. Well, this is one of them, but it's not the only one. I got a couple of more coming, and just hold on. Wait until you've seen like this wave that's coming through right now. There's some very impressive stuff, including this one, that have just come on the market. You have been watching Smartwatch Ticks. We appreciate your subscription and your support, and we will see you soon. I'm back. It seems I'm doing these suffixes. I forgot to mention, because I just checked the email, I'm supposed to tell you that the tethering of this watch works with Android, but does not yet work with iOS. So you're not getting it to work with an iPhone. If you're planning on using this for tethering, first of all, remember, you're not going to be making tethering phone calls with this or any Android watch. They don't do that. They work with the SIM card for phone calls. And it tethers to Android to get notifications, but they mentioned that it does not tether with iOS. Oh, iOS was this side, right? It doesn't do your iPhone thing. So don't pick it up if you got an iPhone and you think you're going to use it in that capacity. There you go. Now we're done.